Welcome back, everyone. We're going to be solving LeetCode 404, sum of left leaves. So we're given the root of a binary tree. We need to return the sum of all of the left leaves. So if we take a look at example 1, we can see that the left leaves are going to be 9 and 15, right? So 9 plus 15 is going to give us an output of 24. So what we're going to do for this problem is run depth first search, and we're going to keep track of, okay, have we ran into a left node or have we ran into a right node? And if we have ran into a left node, we're going to check, okay, does this left node have a left and right child? If it does not, then we know we've reached a leaf node, and then we can add that onto a summation value that we're going to keep track of. So let's set up our depth first search. We'll say stack is going to be equal to this. We're going to put the root on. We're going to have a value for to check if we have visited this node. It is going to be initially set to false. And then we are also going to have two other values to determine if we are at a left node or a right node. Actually, we could just do one value if it's left or right. So we'll say false initially, because the root is not a left node. Now, all we have to do is run our depth first search. So we'll say while the stack is not equal to 0, while the length of the stack is not equal to 0. And before we go any further, we should set up our running total that we're going to have. I'll call it summation, set it equal to 0. And we are going to say, okay, let's grab the node, the visited status, and if this node is a left or right node. So we'll say left. We'll just call it left. And we will say that is going to be equal to stack.pop. Okay, first thing we need to do, we need to check is this node null or not. So if node is none, or not none, sorry. If node is not none, then we want to check, have we visited this node before? So we'll say if visited is equal to true, we are going to do something. What are we going to do? We are going to check to see if this left value is equal to true. If it is, then we know we have a left node. So we'll say if left is equal to true, then we're also going to check does 9 is if our left node has a left and right child, right? In this case, 9 does not have a left and right child, so we know it's a leaf node. So we'll say if node.right is none and node.left is none, then we're just going to take the value of the node and add it onto our summation here. So we'll say summation plus equals the node.value. Now, if we have not visited this node before, we are just going to run just our classic depth first search. I'm going to do post order, so I will say stack.append the current working node. We will change the visited status to true, and we will append the left value. Now we are going to check if node.right is not none. If it's not, we are going to say stack.append node.right. We are also going to add a visited status of false, and we are going to add on the value false because this is not a left node. We will do the same thing for the left node. So we'll say if node.left is not none, then we want to say stack.append node.left, visited status of false, and then we will append the status of true because it is a left node. And then at the end, we should just be able to return the summation, and that should give us the right answer. So let's run this. Perfect. We passed both test cases, so we'll submit. Awesome, and it does run. So time and space complexity for this problem is going to be O of n for both. All right, that'll do it for LeetCode 404.